this is the final part of the Montego Bay experience. So let me continue. I think I left off at the taximan telling me that I was scammed. Now, normally when you hear a story like that, when they hear a story like that, they're going to say, oh yes, you're a scam because you don't get any money and whatever. Anyway, when I left the taximan, I decided to go to somewhere to sit down. So I went into Burger King and I was just sitting down there, and I don't understand, but it's like as I went into Burger King, it just so happened that they were talking about scamming and Montego Bay, and I said to myself, it looked like them just see what just transpired. Them just see what going on. And we were just there, my brother and I, we were just laughing, right? Because I really just couldn't believe that happened. Anyway, I said that I was going to stay with my aunt in Montego Bay. So I called her up, and fortunately she was in the town already. So I just said, I called her and she said that I'll pick you up in 15 minutes. So when she came for us now, she was saying to us, what is it happened to you? What is it happened to you? So when I'm there explaining it to her and telling her the name of the place and whatever, she started laughing because she was like, what is the place name? Because she was saying that the place just sound weird. Anyway, my other aunt, her sister was in the back, and she was just there, and she was just dying with laughter, right? Because she was saying that I don't know Montego Bay, and I have so many people living in Montego Bay, and I didn't at any point consider to ask someone for assistance or wherever is a safe place, which I think that's wrong on my part, and I think I should have done more research. Now, for that entire evening, I was the joke of the night. I was the joke of the night for the entire evening. And we went up, and my aunt spoke to her husband. He was just laughing and laughing. I said, but them people are not easy. They might take serious thing to joke, right? And I was just there. And then after a while, I kind of eased up a bit. I wasn't so tense after all, and I disappointed. I kind of said, sure, it's part of life, part of travel, and it's an experience that I'd be happy to tell other people about it. So the next step was to find out how I was going to get my money back, because first I had to try to contact the guy to see if something went wrong along the way. Now, when I was there, or when I was booking the Airbnb location, there was no directions whatsoever, but I had his number. So I said, okay, I'll just take off his number, and then when I need to get there, I'll just reach out to him. But the number wasn't working, so I thought that I was wondering what was wrong. So when I went back to my aunt's house, I said, alright, let me just log on and try to figure out what went wrong. When I went there, back on Airbnb site, I looked through his profile again, and out of nowhere the directions appeared. I don't understand, because I know where to find the directions. I know how websites are built, and if you have something in a particular location, it's not going to change, right? So if the directions were there before, I would have seen it, and when I went back to the thing, it just immediately appeared. Anyway, I reached out to the guy because he had me as no-show. So I reached out to the guy and I said, look here, I was trying to find a place and I couldn't find a place. And he said, well, I have 14 people staying here, and yes, the place is legit. And he was saying that not many people in the community know him, so if I asked anyone in the community, they wouldn't necessarily be able to assist me because he's hardly there. I was like, okay, alright, no problem. So I said, okay, seeing that I didn't get to stay, and I was trying to find your area, and I was trying to call your number and couldn't get you, could I have my money back? I requested to get a refund, and he declined it, obviously. And I said, no, this can't work, because I need my money back because I didn't stay at the place. But how Airbnb works, they charge a card before you go to the place, so you don't have to pay the person directly. I guess it's for safety reasons, I'm not sure, but it's kind of a wise thing to do, by paying before you get there. Anyway, I said, okay. He declined the thingy, and I said, no man, something not right. I go back to the information that I have, and lo and behold, I had one digit of the phone number wrong. One digit of the phone number wrong. That is why I didn't have this guy's number. This is why I wasn't getting through to him, because one of the number was wrong. So on my part, I probably should have double checked the phone number to ensure that I have contact with him. And one of the things that I think I did wrong, I should have called him on the day of the booking and try to talk to him before, communicate with him before on the phone, so that whenever I'm ready to do the transaction or ready to go to that place, I would have already know that this number work and not wait until last minute. So that's one of the things that I've learned not to do, or learn to do before going there. Anyway, because I wanted my money back, I decided that I was going to allow Airbnb to intervene. Now, this is a one-off situation, and it was my first experience on Airbnb, and I think because of that they gave me the benefit of the doubt, because they spoke to the guy and they spoke to me, and they were saying that they understand the situation, but because it is my first, they said they don't normally give refunds, but because it's my, in a condition like that, they don't normally give refunds, but because it was my first trip or my first experience, they decided that they're going to give me the full refund. And I really appreciate that, because the customer service was really good, in the sense where they literally called me on my phone and they were saying that we understand your situation, we're sorry for the problems, and we are, so my phone is going off. Okay, I'm continuing from the part where my phone interrupted my video. I think I started off at the part where I ended at the part where the Airbnb representative intervened in the situation. During the situation. Or, I didn't have to say that. The Airbnb representative intervened. I spoke to them, and Amanda, I think her name was, she was just amazing. She called me on my phone and she said that, you know, I understand the situation that you're going through, but in a condition like that, we wouldn't give a refund. However, because it's your first experience and we don't want it to be a bad first experience for you, I am going to issue a full refund to your account, so that it will not pretty much, it was saying it will not prevent you from purchasing or buying something from us again or using our service again. So on their part, I think it was really good customer service. On my part, I think that I was in the wrong, and even though people were in my not community, but even though people around me and everyone, they were saying that, oh, you were scammed, you were this, you were that, I knew in the back of my head that I wasn't scammed. And I think that if I had done better preparation, I probably wouldn't have had that bad experience. Now, the guy was saying that his company or his place is legit and it's 14. He had 14 people staying there. And I don't want to say that he's a scammer, because he must have had some form of people coming there and he had reviews and all of that. So I don't think he was a scammer. But I felt disappointed that he didn't understand where I was coming from, and therefore he declined the pay request. And I'm thinking to myself that maybe if I was on his end, I would kind of understand what his point or his point of view, because he made necessary preparations for me to be there and I didn't show up. So he would have had already spent a certain amount of money depending on what he was preparing for. Now, the lesson, I've learned numerous things from this experience, and I think that offering that information to you, the public, or my audience, I think it will be beneficial, and it would make your experience when traveling better if you have the know-how or know how to do it, and also to make the host or the Airbnb host have a better experience also, and to prevent cancellations or refunds. Now, the number one thing that I've learned from this experience is to always be prepared. Have your information ready and try to contact the person before, because I had the wrong number, one digit wrong, and even though it was one digit, it was still the wrong number. And if I had the correct number, I would probably get to the guy. Now, if I had communicated communicated prior to my arrival, I would have figured out that, hey, the number that I wrote down here is wrong, and therefore I should double check the number and try to contact the guy. But when I was communicating with him, I was communicating with him on Airbnb and not saying to myself, what if you don't have internet to contact this guy? And that is exactly what happened. I didn't have data to log on. Not data. Did I have data? No, I didn't. No, my phone stopped working, and that was a problem. Yeah, my phone stopped working, and I wasn't able to, and I didn't have the app. So the phone with the problem had the app on the phone, but the phone that I purchased, based on the data that I had, I couldn't download the app on my phone, so I didn't have access to that information, and therefore I probably could have, I don't know what happened, but I just know that I didn't have data. I didn't have access to data, and because of that, it gave the guy a bad experience with me, because I doubt he will even consider hosting me at his place, because did I review? No, I didn't review. I think it didn't make sense to give a review because it was wrong on my part. So I allowed his reviews to be the way it is, because other people there, I didn't stay there, so I can't say that, oh, this place was bad or this place was good, because I really didn't stay there. It wouldn't be a fair review. Now, when having the information that was necessary would have prevented all of the hullabaloo that hullabaloo, what is that? I don't know. It would have prevented all the or the bad experience that I've had. And I don't regret it. I don't regret the experience because it taught me to be more prepared. And I think that me having this information and providing this information to you, you will also know to be prepared when you're traveling and have all the necessary information. And though I've always been saying that, yes, have the information ready at hand, I made the mistake again when going to Montego Bay. I should have contacted the people before. And leading up to the other parishes, I still made that mistake. But fortunately, I was able to get assistance from people in the area. Now, the other thing that I think that I've learned is not to use one bad experience to write off the entire place, right? Now, I had a bad experience and some people would say, oh, I will never go back to that place, whatever, whatever. That will never prevent me from going back to Montego Bay. I love Montego Bay. I have all my friends and family there. I would always go back on that one experience. And even if that experience was worse, I still would have gone back to that place. It's probably not a wise thing to say, but I don't think one bad experience should prevent you from, experiencing a country, because not all people are the same, and the experience will always be different. It's not going to be the exact same experience every time you go to that place. So I don't think that going to prevent me from going back to Montego Bay. Of course I'm going back to Montego Bay. And what was the other thing that I wanted to mention? I had a brain farted there. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, I mean, the experience, though they were saying that it's scam, I wouldn't say that it was scamming. It's not scamming. It was just bad on my part for me to have lack of information and not reaching out to the host when I was supposed to. And because of that, I had the experience of people telling me that, oh, you should report it, or it's scamming and whatever. But I think their advisor or whatever come with good reason, because that experience happened, well, for some people it happened before, or they allegedly keep on saying that scamming happened in Montego Bay, and because of that they would have advised me to go and report it. But there was no need to report it because I know exactly what went wrong. I had the wrong information, well, the wrong phone number, and because of that I wasn't able to get in contact with the guy. But with all that said, I think that it's a part of traveling. People say that they want to travel and all of that, but let me tell you this. If you are traveling and you do not have a bad experience while traveling, you haven't traveled enough. Traveling and having something wrong is inevitable. You can either miss your flight, which I almost did. That's a different story. You could lose your passport. I mean, money gets stolen. You miss a bus. You left a bag somewhere. I mean, there's so many people. You're treated horribly by people for whatever reason. You experience whether racism or sexism or whatever it is. But you will definitely experience something bad. But believe me when I tell you that the good experience will outnumber the bad experience. And you can't use one bad experience when traveling to ruin your entire trip. You just have to prepare for all the bad experience and then say to yourself, okay, this is going to happen. I just need to be prepared and adjust as I go along. So I'm at the point now where when I'm traveling, I say, Lord, I know something is going to go wrong to this time, but just make me prepared. Just let me be prepared. And every now I would go and say, what's going to go wrong now? So I'm kind of anticipating something to go wrong. And I think when you have that idea, when it does happen, you're not as surprised as if you didn't expect it to happen. You say, oh my God, what is this? What is this? You are mentally preparing for something bad to happen, and then you're making the necessary adjustments. Okay, if this happens here, I'll know what to do here. If this happens here, I'll know what to do there. Having the mentality or being prepared for bad experiences as well as good experiences will help you to have a better appreciation for the good things that happen when it does, because you will have had that bad experience and have that good experience, and you can weigh both experiences and just, accept that is a part of traveling and not allow the bad experiences to ruin your trip. Now, that is it for Montego Bay and my experience. And the next excursion or the next parish is going to be in Trelawney. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do much in Trelawney, but however, I still have some form of experience going there. And next week, Thursday, you will have access to that information on my no, it's not Saint anything. It's Trelawney, the parish of Trelawney, 14 parishes in 14 days.